6:45. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Lal Malavarachi and read by Lavani Vijayatunga. First, we take a look at the headlines. The government has lifted the ban on the import of widely used herbicide glyphosate. Sri Lanka permits the much-disputed Chinese research vessel to dock. All government schools will resume normal functioning from tomorrow. The Parliament to debate on the increase of electricity bill rates on the 29th of this month. The Sapagaskanda oil refinery is set to resume operations from tomorrow. News overseas, Kenya elections 2022 live results updates. And in sports news, Shakib Al Hasan named Bangladeshi captain for the Asia Cup and the T20 World Cup. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the local news. Sri Lanka has lifted the ban on importing the widely used herbicide glyphosate with effect from the 5th of this month. This was announced in a Gazette Extraordinary published by President Ranil Wickremesinghe in his capacity as the Minister of Finance, Economic Stabilisation and National Policies. As per the communique, in glycine, the salts and the derivatives are removed from the list of banned goods specified in the Special Import License Regulations published in the Gazette Extraordinary Number 2044/40 dated 9th of November 2017. Ministry of Foreign Affairs has allowed the harbour master to grant permission to the Chinese ballistic missile and satellite tracking vessel Yangwang 5 to dock at the Hambantota port on Tuesday. Harbour Master Nimal P. Silva told the AFP that he received the clearance from the Foreign Ministry to let the ship dock at the Hambantota port of call. The much-disputed 730-foot-long ship was initially scheduled to dock at the Hambantota port between the 11th and the 17th of July. However, Sri Lanka made a request from Beijing to defer the arrival. The request for deferment came after India voiced strong concerns on the matter and said it carefully monitors any developments having a bearing on its security and economic interests and takes all necessary measures to safeguard them. China, in response to India's concerns, said it hoped that relevant parties would refrain from interfering with its legitimate maritime activities and stress that it was senseless to pressure Colombo by citing the issue of security concerns. The government and government-approved private schools will function as per normal schedule from 7:30 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. on all 5 days of the week from tomorrow. The Education Minister said the decision was taken at a meeting with the ministry and the top officials. Provincial authorities have been directed to ensure transport facilities for teachers, students and principals in the areas where there are transport difficulties. Instructions have also been given to conduct only academic activities during the next 3 months and conduct extracurricular activities after school. This is the news from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.
Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
And we continue with more local news. Parliament plans to debate the increase of electricity bill rates when it convenes on the 29th of this month, the Parliament Communication Department said. This decision was taken by the Committee on Parliamentary Business, which met on the 10th under the chairmanship of Speaker Mahinda Yapa Abeyewardena. Accordingly, it has been decided to convene the Parliament on the 29th and hold the adjournment debate moved by the opposition on the increase of the electricity bills from 9:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m., the Secretary General said. Minister Kanchana Wijayasekara says that kerosene will be available for the public from next Friday. The Sapagaskanda oil refinery is set to resume operations tomorrow and the fuel production will restart within the 6 days of reopening of the refinery, the ministry said. The refinery has been closed for several months due to a shortage of crude oil during the period. The National Epidemiology Unit says that 181 corona-infected patients have been identified yesterday. Accordingly, the number of infected corona cases stands at 667,916. The Director General of Health has confirmed 5 corona-related deaths yesterday. He requested the general public to strictly adhere to all health guidelines as the coronavirus is spreading rapidly. And to conclude the local news, the headlines once again. The government has lifted the ban on the import of the widely used herbicide glyphosate. Sri Lanka permits the much disputed Chinese research vessel to dock. All government schools will resume normal functioning from tomorrow. Parliament to debate on the increase of electricity bill rates on the 29th of this month. The Sabakaskanda oil refinery is set to resume operations tomorrow. And that was the local news.
Nobody tells time like this. So why do you still pay with cash when you have People's Pay mobile app from People's Bank? Scan the Lanka QR code and make your payments with People's Pay mobile payment app from People's Bank.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
The main news story for this morning, Minister of Power and Energy Vijay Sekhar says that crude oil cargo ships carrying 100,000 metric tons of fuel is scheduled to arrive in Sri Lanka today and will undergo quality sampling tomorrow. Meanwhile, another crude oil cargo ship carrying 120,000 metric tons of fuel is expected to reach Colombo between the 23rd and the 29th of this month. Both cargoes are from the Urals in Russia. The minister said that there will be no shortage of fuel in the country at present. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Watch Life is brought to you by
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
In Watchlight, Commissioner General of Examinations L.M.V. Dharmasena says that it is compulsory for students to appear for the GCE 2021 A-level practical examinations on the new dates set aside for the exam. Accordingly, the practical tests will be conducted on the 19th, 20th and 21st of this month. Nearly 400 candidates have applied for the tests. He further said that the relevant information has been directed to the WhatsApp number of the applicants, and that came to you in Watchlight.
A Strength to Your Life. CIB Janajaya Vasana has commenced. Valuable gifts and all bills are on 31st of October. Come to CIB today.
Headlines of the world news. Salman Rushdie stabbing suspect charged with attempted murder. World leaders express shock at attack on Salman Rushdie. Ukraine says it has taken out the vital bridge in occupied Kherson. Those were the headlines, and now more to the details of the world news. The man suspected of stabbing Salman Rushdie at an event in the United States on Friday has been charged with attempted murder. Hadi Mata, aged 24, has appeared in court and has been remanded without bail, the prosecutors said. Mr. Mata ran into the stage and attacked Mr. Rushdie and an interviewer at an event in the western New York state. The award-winning writer is in a critical condition. World leaders have expressed shock at the stabbing of famed British author Salman Rushdie at a literary event in the US state of New York yesterday. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson said he was horrified that Rushdie was stabbed while exercising a right we should never cease to defend, he added. We are all hoping he is okay. In a statement, the White House National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan said, "This act of violence is appalling." He went on to say, all of us in the Biden-Harris administration are praying for his speedy recovery. French President Emmanuel Macron said on Twitter that Rushdie has just been the victim of a cowardly attack by the forces of hatred and barbarism. Ukraine says it has taken out another bridge that is vital for the Russian forces occupying the southern Kherson region. It says that the bridge on the dam Nova Kakhovka, which it has attacked before, is now impassable. The claim was not being independently verified. It comes just weeks after Key Antonovsky Bridge was put out of action by the Ukrainian forces. Ukraine was waging a counter-offensive towards Kherson city, which Russia captured in the early days of the war. And to conclude the world news, the headlines once again. Salman Rushdie stabbing suspect charged with attempted murder. World leaders express shock at attack on Salman Rushdie. Ukraine says it has taken out a vital bridge in occupied Kherson. That was the world news, and now let's move on to development news. The Tissa Maharama branch of the People's Leasing and Finance PLC initiated a corporate social responsibility project to promote home gardening among customers. Guided by the regional office, ably led by the branch manager, the team distributed 500 tomato and chili saplings among the pre-identified loyal customers who are interested in home gardening. And that came to you in the segment of Development News.
Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Moving on to sports news, Shakib Al Hasan is back in charge for the Bangladeshis T20 internationals and has been named the captain for the Asia Cup, the New Zealand Tri-Series and the T20 World Cup. The Bangladesh Cricket Board made the announcement yesterday, bringing to an end the uncertainty of the past couple of weeks when Shakib was told by the board to choose between playing for Bangladesh or keep his endorsement with a betting company. It is understood that he is likely to be asked to stay on as a long-term captain in the format. He was appointed Test captain in June after Mahimul Haq stepped down. The BCB has also announced the 17-member squad for the Asia Cup, which will be played in the UAE from the 27th of August. That was the sports news. Business news coming up.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Sri Lanka's average coconut prices grew by 3.7% to 64,618.23 rupees for 1,000 nuts at the last auction held on Friday, the official data showed. The highest price was 62,900 rupees for 1,000 nuts, while the lowest was 57,000 rupees at the auction conducted by the Sri Lanka's Coconut Development Authority. Buyers offered 1,019,395 nuts at the auction and sold 576,906. That was the business news. Economic news follows.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
And in economic news, the prices of chicken and eggs have risen in Sri Lanka due to excessive demand in the market, and further price hikes are expected due to a shortage in animal feed, the All-Island Poultry Industry Association said. Ajit Gunasekara, the association head, said that the price of an egg has increased to around 62 rupees and the price of a kilogram of frozen chicken has increased to around 1,200 rupees. Live chicken has increased to around 1,300 rupees in the market as well. Mr. Gunasekara attributed the price hike to the dearth of animal feed that has made it difficult for the poultry industry to maintain animal stocks in farms, mainly in the SME sector. That was economic news, and to conclude, let's get on to the weather report. The Met Department says that few showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamuwa provinces and in the Galle and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the central, Uva, eastern and north central provinces during the evening or night, and mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere. And to conclude this bulletin of news, let's get back to the headlines once again. The government has lifted the ban on the import of the widely used herbicide glyphosate. Sri Lanka permits much disputed Chinese research vessel to dock. All government schools to resume normal functioning from tomorrow. Parliament to debate on the increase of electricity bill rates on the 29th of this month. The Sapakaskanda oil refinery is set to resume operations tomorrow. And in sports news, Shakib Al Hasan named Bangladeshi captain for the Asia Cup and T20 World Cup. And with that, we conclude this bulletin of news. Now it's back to your Sunday morning regular host and my good friend Shantima to brighten up your day.